The evening air carried the faint scent of pine and lake water, that crisp spring freshness you get in our quiet lakeside neighborhood in Northern California. It was late April 2023, and I'd just finished oiling the rusty latch on my front door, feeling pretty pleased with myself for tackling that nagging squeak. My lakeside retreat was my sanctuary, a modest two-bedroom house I'd owned for 8 years, where I escaped the city grind to write articles and unwind. My wife, Brooke, a deputy sheriff, was inside prepping dinner, and I was about to crack open a cold soda when I heard those heavy footsteps crunching up the gravel path. Purposeful, almost angry, like someone spoiling for a fight. 3 sharp knocks rattled the frame. Before I could even respond, there was that chilling metallic Slydia key slipping into my lock with eerie precision. The door creaked inward, and there stood Victoria Lang, president of our homeowners association, gripping a bright red key like it was her badge of honor. She didn't look shocked to see me. She looked annoyed, as if I was the intruder in my own home. Association audit, she barked, stepping forward without a hello. We need to verify bedroom counts to crack down on vacation rentals. Reports of overcrowding here. My heart pounded as I planted my hand on the doorframe, not shoving her back, but making it crystal clear she wasn't welcome. This is my private property, I said, voice steady despite the adrenaline surge. Step off my porch now. Victoria didn't budge. Instead, she craned her neck, peering into my living room where the soft glow of my vintage table lamp cast shadows on the walls. The HOA bylaws give us inspection rights for violations, she snapped, her tone dripping with that false authority people in power love to wield. I almost chuckled at the absurdity. Ethan Hayes, a freelance journalist living mostly alone except when Brooke joined on weekends. Overcrowding? It was laughable, but the violation felt visceral. I pulled out my phone, hitting record, capturing her red key and her pushy stance. Auditing beds. Seriously? This is a home, not a hotel lobby. She rambled on about community standards and by any means necessary, like she was leading a crusade instead of bullying neighbors. My door app pinged. Silent entry detected. No forced alert, just smooth access, as if she'd done this a dozen times. As she finally backed off, muttering threats about board reports, I closed the door slowly, the latch clicking shut without a squeak-me small win in a moment that left me rattled. Brooke emerged from the kitchen, her law enforcement instincts kicking in. That's trespassing, she said quietly. We document everything. But the real gut punch came minutes later. A mass HOA email blasted to every resident. Subject line screaming, vacation rental violator exposed lot 28. My address, my name, and attached photos off my kitchen counters, my bedroom, angles impossible from outside. The lamp's warm light reflected in one shot, glaring proof someone had been inside, invading our space while we were away. My hands shook as I forwarded it to Brooke. We called Sophia, our neighbor across the street and sharp-eyed accountant who crunched numbers like puzzles. She came over, laptop in hand, and we huddled at the table under that same lamp. Look at the metadata, she said, zooming in. Timestamp, March 15th, 2:47 p.m. I was in the city that day. Reflections showed the intruder standing right where Victoria had tried to push past me. This wasn't a window peek. This was boots on your floor. We dug deeper. HOA newsletters boasted her proactive oversight program, basically admitting to routine home checks. Sophia charted neighbor reports 97% matched suspicious entries. She's been at this for years, Sophia whispered, her voice tight with outrage. Victoria didn't stop. By morning, a lien notice hit my inbox for $1,200 in fines for violations, plus a bogus county complaint claiming I'd added illegal extensions without permits. It was war now, her power play turning financial screws to forced submission. Brooke suggested we consult a locksmith. Mike's shop reeked of metal shavings and oil. He set up a demo lock identical to mine. Construction master keys, he explained, sliding a silver one in smoothly. Builders use M during development. Owners are supposed to reset M, but folks toss the manual. Guilty-eyed, buried mine in a drawer. Mike showed how easy it was to disable. Without it, those red keys were useless. My app logs revealed 5 silent entries, over months. Tuesdays mostly Victoria's routine, making her feel invincible. Word spread. Elena, a neighbor down the block, texted, Victoria had snapped pics of her spare room during her aunt's chemo visits, then slapped her with fines for unauthorized lodging. Officer Ramirez joined us, notebook out. We've got patterns trespass, burglary tools. But Victoria escalated, posting community alerts painting me as a threat to property values. Sophia hatched a plan, a recorded call posing as an HOA insurer. Risk assessment, she said in a crisp voice. Victoria bit, bragging about her key ring opening the East Shore lots for bi-weekly checks when owners were out. Efficient oversight bylaws back it. 17 minutes of damning confession, her smug laugh echoing like nails on a chalkboard. The tension peaked when Victoria showed up at Elena's, red key in hand, demanding updated verification. Elena barred the door. Ramirez arrived, lights flashing. Victoria froze mid-push, key inserted. Step back, he ordered. She doubled down. HOA authority overrides. Detained on the spot, her key ring 14 homes worth seized as evidence. Neighbors watched, murmurs turning to demands. At the community dock the next day, she cornered me, spitting threats. I'll ruin you with lawsuits. I showed the crowd my footage. Elena called out her lies. Ramirez intervened again, cuffing her for harassment amid gasps. The viral clip exploded online, her empire crumbling in real time. Climax hit when Victoria returned with her cousin Julian, a wannabe lawyer in a cheap suit, waving a fake order. My reset locks foiled her key. It turned uselessly. Brooke stepped out, badge gleaming. Victoria Lang, you're under arrest for trespass, burglary, forgery, conspiracy. Ramirez cuffed Julian for impersonating counsel. Searches unearthed horrors. Keys for 120 homes. Logs of hundreds of entries. Stolen personal files, medical docs, finances. Victoria's journal detailed her vendetta against me, premeditated malice in her own handwriting. Bribery schemes surfaced. $15,000 skimmed from HOA funds. The emergency meeting packed the clubhouse. Sophia led, voting unanimously to oust Victoria. Reforms flew. Free rekeys, audits, counseling. Criminal pleas followed. Victoria got 6 years for minimum, probation, restitution stripping her assets. Julian, 3 years, barred from law. Civil suits netted us $20,000, $35,000 each. I got $28,000, but money couldn't erase the betrayal. 5 years on, in spring 2028, our Lakeside Haven Thrives Ethical Board, honor the threshold, signs a community mantra. Victoria's parole denied for feigned remorse. Julian fades into obscurity. Was Victoria a deluded guardian of standards, or a calculated tyrant abusing power? Should HOAs wield such control, or are they breeding grounds for corruption? Drop your hottest takes below. Does absolute authority always corrupt, or can it ever be justified? Hit like if this fired you up, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more real-life dramas that make you question everything.